Have you ever wondered if the Bible describes something like a spaceship or a divine vehicle? In Ezekiel chapter 1, the prophet has a vision of living creatures, wheels within wheels, fire, lightning, and something called a crystal vault above their heads. But what exactly is this crystal vault? Could it be a kind of window, like the cockpit glass of a vehicle or even an airplane? Ezekiel lived around 600 BC, which meant back then, glass as we know it was virtually unknown. So when he tries to describe something transparent, hard, and shining, he uses the closest comparison he can, crystal or ice. He says, spread out above the heads of the living creatures was what looked like a vault, sparkling like crystal. Imagine trying to describe a glass canopy or a cockpit dome if you've never seen glass before. You'd reach for the most dazzling, clear, hard thing, you know? Like a shining crystal. Like how a spacecraft might need stable supports when it touches down. Now, Ezekiel also describes the creatures as having legs, like a calf's hoof, made of polished bronze or metal. What if those aren't just legs, but landing pads? And they had wings, two of which covered their bodies or heads like a protective canopy. This could be a kind of covering or shield over the crew or pilots inside the vehicle. And then there's the way these creatures move. They go straight in any direction they choose, like they have 360-degree mobility. Ezekiel says they can fly or move without turning or changing direction. That kind of motion sounds a lot like modern descriptions of UFOs, which can suddenly dart or hover without visible means of propulsion or turning. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ezekiel says the wheels beside the creatures are not just mechanical. He describes a wheel within a wheel, able to move in any direction without needing to turn. And then he says something extraordinary. The spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. This means the wheels and the creatures are connected, almost like one living system. The wheels don't move on their own. Instead, the life force, or spirit, of the creatures fills and animates the wheels and engines. Wheels as the multi-directional propulsion system, and the crystal vault as the cockpit window. Imagine the wheels as extensions of the creature's power and will, like an engine or a vehicle that only moves when controlled by a pilot. The spirit within the wheels gives them intelligence and the ability to move instantly and precisely in any direction. So the creatures and the wheels operate as a unified living whole. This union shows us that these heavenly beings aren't just machines. They are alive, aware, and powered by the Spirit of God. Think of this entire vision as a divine, spiritual vehicle, living creatures as pilots. To Ezekiel, with no modern technology language, it had to be described with images he knew. Crystal, fire, wheels, metal legs, and wings. Could Ezekiel's vision be an ancient way to describe a divine craft or even something like a UFO? Or is it all rich, symbolic imagery meant to show us God's power and mystery? Either way, the details are fascinating. So, what do you think? Was Ezekiel describing a heavenly spaceship with landing pads, a crystal cockpit, and wheels powered by living spirits, moving like a UFO? Or is this poetic vision meant only to inspire or for God's glory? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Bible mysteries and ancient secrets.